What is up, everybody? Fish Venture here, back at it again with another moto fishing video. Before we start, just want to give everybody a huge shout out. We have reached 300 subscribers, so super thrilled on that. Really appreciate all the support and feedback I've gotten from everybody so far. I guess now we are on the road to 500, so please make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you like what I'm doing. Today is going to be a little bit of a redemption day for me. So in the last video, obviously the channel is called Fish Venture, and in the last video I had the fish part of it covered, barely. I caught one little rainbow, but I did not have the adventure part of it covered whatsoever. Could have taken my grandma's Cadillac up to the spot that we were fishing, so it was all paved road. So as you can see, I decided to take the proverbial road less traveled and do a little dirt riding on my way up. We're still going to the same spot, but there's plenty of different ways to get there, so I decided to hop on the dirt, see how the DR does with all my gear on the back, and so far it hasn't let me down. And hoping today we can get on a few more fish than last time. I'm gonna make sure and use my net this time if I do catch a fish, because last time I was handling that little trout like a Costco all beef hot dog. So definitely don't want to hurt any fish, since my goal is to release them and let them go and hopefully catch them again next year. But anyways, again, appreciate all the feedback. We're gonna get to the spot and get our lines wet and do some fishing. All right, guys, we have made it. Another successful journey on the Fish Venture DR650. I'm gonna get after it pretty quickly here, but before I do, I'll give you a quick run through what I'm using today. Pretty simple setup, pretty much the same like I always use out here. Looks like the flows are ripping pretty good, but I don't think that'll keep the fish from biting. Just make sure no emergencies. Looking good. All right, so last night I re-spooled my reel. So I was running a 10-pound fluoro before. I spooled on some 6-pound fluorocarbon. I think 6-pound is probably the perfect size line for most of what I'm doing, and I'll tell you why I like fluoro over mono. So a couple benefits with fluorocarbon. It doesn't have any stretch, so it's a little nicer whenever it comes to fighting the fish. I think you get a little bit better feedback with the fluoro. Also, it sinks a lot better compared to mono, so whenever you're fishing with these little spinners that don't have a bill or lip to pull it down into the water column, it's nice to have some line that is helping work with you and getting that lure a little bit lower in the water. And then the third benefit of fluoro is supposedly it's invisible to the fish. Whenever the sun refracts off of it, it becomes invisible. I haven't had a chance to actually ask a fish yet if that's true, so I'm just going to take everybody's word for it. But yeah, it does break down a lot easier. So the thing with mono, I mean, you can grab a rod that has some 10-year-old mono spooled on it and it'll still work. This stuff breaks down with the sun, so I re-spool my reels every year just to keep the line from breaking down. But all right, main goal today, not get my lure stuck in a tree. Happened pretty early on last trip, and I think I spooked a fish because of it. So no stuck lures today, and hopefully catch a few more trout. I'm gonna make sure and use my net this time, that way I can keep them in the water and handle them a little bit better. Beautiful out here. It's a little warm today, but not as warm as it has been, so see how this fresh line does. Alright guys, so we have had zero luck with the spinners so far today. This is normally my go-to. It's this little gold Mepps with the orange bead at the bottom, kind of like a faux salmon egg. But the trout aren't biting it today, so I'm switching it up completely. This is kind of out of my normal wheelhouse. I've never been fly fishing. I've never used any flies. However, what I picked up yesterday is a couple of these little beaded nymphs. So really what we're trying to do here is match the hatch and imitate, you know, a fly or a bug or a larva that these trout would normally be feeding on. So what I did, I tied it on my line here, got about a 2-foot leader, and then at the top I got this little bobber. So I've probably had this bobber for like 10 years. I rarely use bobbers for any type of fishing, but I like this thing because it's got like a 1/4 ounce weight at the bottom. It keeps a good vertical profile in the water, easy to cast out, and then you can see strikes on it pretty easy as well. So I'm just going to cast this out into the current, let it kind of do its thing, and see if a trout bites. All right, let's see how this little nymph setup works. Really the goal with it is to get it, you know, in the water column where the fish would normally be feeding on natural bait and such. Maybe they're a little lazy today and they don't want to chase the lure. This will definitely make it easy for them. So I'm just going to cast it out. Kind of let the current do its thing with it. Gonna bring it back in. Let the current take it where it would normally take feed like that. All right guys, we're back with the Mepps spinner. The nymph let me down, but I think that's mostly my own fault. I don't think I had it rigged quite correctly, so if I use it again, I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'll show you what I'm doing to help make a slightly better presentation for the fish. In the meantime, let's see if we can get something on the trusty Mepps spinner. Well, there we go. Another little trout. Get him in the net. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful little rainbow here. All right, guys. For the final change up, I've put on this little orange and black Rapala countdown. So I think because of the flow out here, my spinner's just not getting low enough in the water column. I can see it constantly near the surface. So the nice thing with this little guy is it sinks a foot per second that it sits, and it has this little bill on it. So it's gonna get a little bit lower in the water column naturally. So I'm hoping this is a better presentation for the fish. But anyways, I mean, caught one fish today that I was able to land, one that got off. Definitely a successful day. I've been having a ton of fun with this channel. Really, this is just a big passion project for me more than anything. So the more viewers, the more engagement I get. It's just all about sharing what I love, which is fishing and riding. So any feedback is greatly appreciated. There we go. The countdown did not let me down. Let's see if I can safely net this guy. Ton of current right here. Oh, sorry, buddy. There we go. There we go. Safely unhooked that little guy. Beautiful fish. Just typical bow we catch out here. And I knew that Rapala would get down where I wanted it to. All right, let's get this guy out and then try and save my lure. Beautiful fish. He's just cruising in the current right now. All right, guys. Well, I feel like this was a worthy redemption trip today. I caught twice as many fish as I did last time, even though I only caught one last time and caught two today, but safely landed and safely released both of them. Made sure to use my net. Did not handle the fish whatsoever, so definitely a win. Tried out a couple new things. Definitely need to refine my nymphing skills. I'm no fly fisherman by any means. But yeah, a ton of fun. Did a little bit of off-roading, caught some fish. I have quite a few more spots that I want to try. Just been mapping them out. They're all fairly local. So like I was saying earlier, I want to try and hit it before winter time because a lot of these places are going to get snowed in or the water's going to get blown out. But anyways, I appreciate the fish venture support, and yeah, keep on watching.